are so bad, they're just bad. But watch this.
Now, my job dictates that I must have my men enter your home and conduct a thorough search before I can officially cross your family's name off my list. And if there are any irregularities to be found, rest assured they will be. That is unless you have something to tell me that makes the conducting of a search unnecessary. I might add also that any information that makes the performance of my duty easier will not be met with punishment. Actually, quite the contrary. It will be met with reward. And that reward will be your family will cease to be harassed in any way by the German military during the rest of our occupation of your country. You're sheltering enemies of the state, are you not?
Sometimes you're sitting across from a villain, and they're not just bad, they're mesmerizing, and turning even the worst movie into something unforgettable. These villains don't just appear in the film, they own it. Today, we're counting down the top 10 over-the-top villains that made a bad movie better. Whisper screaming his way into the history books, Eddie Redmayne's Balaam Abrasax is a masterclass in excessive villainy. He alternates between murmuring like he's afraid he'll wake the neighbors.
Mr. Skeleton, how is it possible for a single splice to destroy an entire fleet of shadows?
It was a mistake.
A mistake.
They underestimated him.
The next mistake, I hold you accountable.
And shrieking like he just stubbed his toe on the edge of the universe. Is Jupiter ascending a mess? Absolutely. But Balaam Abrasax? Iconic.
I'm telling you, man animals don't fly.
Right. You believe what you like, sir.
No! 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 That is why I am a senior executive, and you are a lowly clerk.
Dreadlocks, nasal delivery, and a performance that's 90% evil laughter. John Travolta's Turl is the gift that keeps on giving. Battlefield Earth is often cited as one of the worst movies ever made, but Travolta's absurd commitment to the role makes it almost entertaining. Almost.
Trying to sweep the poor little widow under the carpet? Well, think again.
Technically, Mommy Dearest isn't a traditional bad movie. It's just a biopic that went completely off the rails. Take the boardroom scene.
We appreciate your devotion and contribution, Miss Crawford. But we have retired you from the board of directors.
Don't fuck with me, fellas! This ain't my first time at the rodeo.
Faye Dunaway's performance as Joan Crawford is so extreme, so scenery-chewing, and so camp that it elevates the film from a melodramatic mess to an unintentional cult classic. No wire hangers, ever.
Shall we begin?
Okay. Relax, Light. You're asleep. You're asleep and you're dreaming of some 8-foot-tall, demon-looking motherfucker.
Oh, yes. A dream. I like that.
Netflix's Death Note, sucked. But Willem Dafoe as Ryuk? Inspired.
Once they showed me an image of basically what Ryuk would look like, I had kind of an idea for a voice in my head. He's got very big mouth and he's very toothy. He wants to be entertained.
The film fumbles just about everything, but Dafoe's menacing voice...
Shh. Listen. check it out.
And eerie presence make Ryuk the one element that actually works. He deserved a better movie, but we'll take what we can get.
Now I'm rooting for this guy.
You just shut the fuck up.
Some men act. Jeremy Irons performs. And in Dungeons & Dragons, he goes for broke, chewing the scenery with the enthusiasm of a man who knows exactly what kind of movie he's in. Every exaggerated facial expression and dramatic line delivery makes this disaster piece just a little more delightful.
And if she does not agree?
Then, her true intentions will become clear.
I'm sorry. I don't remember any of it.
You don't remember?
For you, the day bison graced your village was the most important day of your life. But for me, it was Tuesday.
For Raul Julia, this wasn't just any role. It was Tuesday. His portrayal of M. Bison is so gleefully exaggerated that it transcends bad movie status and enters legendary territory. He's got charisma, hammy villainy, and more one-liners than a Saturday morning cartoon.
You shall be killed by a wild beast. A beast born of my own genius. Raise the incubation chamber.
Truly a king. If you thought Bowser was scary, you haven't met Dennis Hopper's King Koopa.
Python Pizza here, may I help you?
King Koopa here.
Oh, yes, sir.
I'd like the Koopa special.
Pterodactyl tail on that?
Yes, dino, lizard, hold the mammal, no worms, and spicy.
A bizarre, reptilian businessman who feels like a Wall Street tycoon having an existential crisis. Super Mario Brothers makes almost no sense, but Hopper's deranged performance keeps things weirdly entertaining.
Yoshi is a pet of the royal family. You may pet him. Just don't move your hands around like a small wounded animal.
Alright, technically Wiseau's Johnny isn't a villain in the room, but if you look at it from a different angle, he's definitely the chaotic force causing everyone's misery. The strange accent, the inexplicable line delivery.
Oh, come on, why not? No, I can't. Anyway, how is your sex life?
The sheer madness of it all. Wiseau doesn't just make a bad movie better, he makes it unforgettable.
Enough. Where is your strength? Where is it gone? Look at your precious sorceress. An old crone, weak, withering, dying. Are you ready to kneel now, proud warrior?
Langella approaches Skeletor like he's playing Shakespeare's Macbeth, and it works. In a film that barely feels like He-Man, his grandiose delivery and operatic villainy are a bright spot in an otherwise baffling adaptation.
Death and rebirth, and as you die, so will I be reborn.
Every line drips with melodramatic evil. We love to see it. Before we reveal our top pick, let's take a moment to appreciate a few more villains who cranked the dial up to 11. They may not have made the list, but they still brought their own brand of over-the-top brilliance to the big screen. Arnold Schwarzenegger as Mr. Freeze in Batman and Robin, ice puns. Ice puns everywhere. Christopher Walken as Max Schreck in Batman Returns. Peak Walken. Crispin Glover as the knave of Hearts in Alice in Wonderland 2010. We're still not over his everything. All right, you've waited long enough. It's time to unveil our number one pick. The villains so ridiculously over the top, they didn't just make a bad movie better. They became the reason to watch it.
Where are the stones?
I don't know. And even if I did know, I wouldn't tell somebody like you.
Wow. What's wrong with me?
I tried to serve life. But you only seem to want to destroy it.
Oh, Father. You're so wrong. Let me explain.
Who could forget?
Jean-Baptiste Emmanuel Zorg.
Coming in at number 1, it's Gary Oldman as Jean-Baptiste Emmanuel Zorg, a villain so over the top he basically steals the entire movie. Is The Fifth Element a bad movie? That's debatable. But there's no debate about Oldman's performance. It's theatrical, ridiculous, and absolutely mesmerizing. With his strange southern drawl, his plastic headpiece, and his penchant for dramatic monologues about destruction.
Look at all these little things. So busy now. Notice how each one is useful. What a lovely ballet ensues, so full of form and color. Now, think about all those people that created them. Technicians, engineers, hundreds of people who will be able to feed their children tonight so those children can grow up big and strong and have little teeny-weeny children of their own and so on and so forth, thus adding to the great chain of life.
Water. Zorg is the kind of villain who makes every moment count. He doesn't just exist in the movie, he devours it, spits it out, and asks for seconds. Whether he's casually sipping a drink while orchestrating chaos or delivering his infamous speech about order through destruction, Oldman proves that sometimes a villain doesn't just save a bad movie, they become the reason to watch it. That's our list. Which over-the-top villain saved a bad movie for you? Did we miss any legendary performances? Let us know in the comments. And don't forget to subscribe for more cinematic chaos. Until next time, stay gloriously over the top. And remember, these villains walked a fine line between terrifying and hilarious, and sometimes it's hard to tell where the performance ends and the comedy begins. Imagine if they had leaned just a little further into the absurd. Would they still be menacing? Or would they be full-on cartoon characters? Honestly, we had to wonder. So we did. Roll the skit.
The new world is inevitable.
It's what?
Inevitable.
One more time?
Inevitable! Things are inevitably going to change. God, open your ears.